Greetings, boys and girls. This is Abigail of Ongeza Volume, and welcome to episode 19, where we're going to be reviewing events attended in December 2024. This is the last episode, hold up, don't panic, for the series of events attended in 2024, finally, and then we can proceed to events attended in 2025. So, before I get into the events that I attended in December, I want to tell you guys that Spotify Wrapped was a scam. It was a scam because it was not a full representation of the music that I listened to in 2024. You all know I playlist, I listen to music every single week. I listen to a lot of releases, and the numbers that Spotify presented or portrayed on the Spotify Wrapped were not accurate at all. So I did a blind reaction. Iko YouTube, go and watch the video where I talked about my Spotify Wrapped. I literally reacted to it for the first time as I saw it. So you guys go and watch it. I dropped it on 6th December. I'm going to put the link in the description of this episode. Yeah, so moving on swiftly. I attended the first curation of KenyanPick that was a bit different from the previous curations. KenyanPick have curated other events before, but it was the first time they were doing this edition that was happening at Cafe Gastrobar located at Imara Mall along Mombasa Road. And for this edition, Maali and Xenia were gonna be performing. It was a limited edition, so I was like, man, I love limited things. Vitu zenye hazifanyiki often, and it's gonna be unique. And I know Tessie of KenyanPick is a really good curator, so I was like, lazima ni attend. Also, another reason I attended this event was because Maali and Xenia Manasseh are siblings, and I've never seen them on a lineup together ever. It's just that when Maali is performing, he usually calls Xenia up on stage, or when Xenia Manasseh is performing, she usually calls Maali up onto stage. But for the first time ever that I can remember, Maali and Xenia were on the same lineup. Ooh, let me tell you. I got there on time. The same day was the same day I had recorded my Spotify Wrapped reaction. So I went to the crew where I had gone to record in Suntown Mala with K-Rope and Akina Yalisen. And it was Yalisen's birthday. So we went to Imara Mall and the venue looked so good. Your place, Nakwambia, ambience, thick, I'm telling you. And when we arrived, people had already settled down. So the people really turned up. Basically, the set was an acoustic set where Ebe Music was on keys. He's one of the members of the unit band, and the unit band usually plays with Maali. And let me tell you, I enjoyed every bit of Mali's performance. And Maali sang Happy Birthday for Ya Listen. Oh, it was amazing. And also, there are some of the songs Zenye Maali released that Ya Listen is the producer. So trust the producer to sing the songs out loud. I'm telling you. Then in between the two sets, there was a brief break. And during this break, Kenyan music was playing. Like if there was any break between the performances or even way after, I just love that the playlist that was playing, Tessie, shout out, was purely Kenyan music because when we attend a Kenyan music event, we expect Kenyan music to be played. Xenia came onto stage. She was performing with Lucas Mwesh on the keys, and she sang some covers. And before and during the performances, by the way, Tessie had created a word puzzle where you would choose and circle songs by both Maali and Xenia, which was a fun game that would occupy us before the performances started and also between the breaks. We were hoping that we're gonna get a prize wenye tulimanage kumaliza all the songs on the puzzle. Yeah. Xenia touched on Love Hate Part 1 and Love Hate Part 2 and also some of her old songs from previous catalogs. At some point, Maali joined Xenia Manasseh during her set and they did one of their favorite covers. You can imagine how it is being in a musical family, guys. On 7th December, I attended Kavirondo Fest. Kavirondo Festival is also one of the events that I was able to market and also to MC. Yes, I do market events and I am also an MC and a host for events. So you guys should hire me so that I can host and MC your events. And also, if you have an event that is coming up and you need assistance in terms of marketing, Ongeza Volume is here for you. I have to plug myself. I was emceeing alongside Donya Chio, who's also a brilliant MC, and it was amazing to see that people did attend because Ongeza Volume marketed. Like, I swear, every time somebody comes and tells me I only attended this event because you vouched for it, it blows my mind. I'm usually so grateful. So I'm grateful for everybody who attends events because we plug them, and I'm truly grateful for all your feedback because it means the world for us. I really tried so hard to ensure that the schedule was on time and to make sure that the performances were going through well and smoothly according to the schedule that was provided. So Brian Sigu started off with a half live set. That means that it was a bit more chill because he was the first performer. Eventually, he was gonna headline. So imagine umecurate event na umeka sets mbili. So una perform at the beginning and una perform at the end. After Brian Sigu's set, Yaba performed with his full band. Yaba is also another artist you should check out, guys. After Yaba, Costa Ojwang performed together with the Fishes Band. Costa Ojwang is also one of the artists that I've worked with in terms of marketing his shows. And after Costa Ojwang was Ayrosh, who was performing together with Jukebox Band. Let me tell you, when we were in the audience and Costa had finished performing and we knew that Ayrosh was coming up on next, people were worried that Ayrosh will not match the energy that Costa Ojwang was giving. Because if you know Costa Ojwang and his performances, zinakwanga very high energy, very energetic, like from start to end. Costa's performances are usually very electric. But then again, I was telling guys, hata za Ayrosh zinakwanga very engaging and very electric. So I was like, you guys should not be worried that people will not engage. Wapi. And I was right. Of course, I was right. Ayrosh went onto stage and people jammed to his music. And he was also joined onto stage by Wanjine. And he managed to maintain everyone on their feet. Juu by the time Yaba alikuwa anapanda stage, wasa walisimama. And from there on, it was non-stop because in between the performances, kulikuwa na DJ sets. Na hizo DJ sets, I was on stage together with Donya Chio and we were keeping people on their feet. We were having so much fun jamming to Kenyan music. So rest assured, bruh, if you see me on a lineup, having the time of your life, having the time of your life, value for your money, guys. And after Ayrosh, Brian Sigu closed out the show with the Kavirondo Blues, and he did the set with a full band. Let me tell you guys some inside info. This year, we're going to also be having Kavirondo Fest. Yes, this is me confirming. And I already know the lineup. And you guys, the minute nitawaambia hivi, the minute I will post on social media platforms, yes, follow me on social media platforms. Niko kila mahali, ongeza volume, ongeza_volume. Once you see me post and say Kavirondo Fest coming soon, please just buy the ticket. Buy the ticket because the experience that is guaranteed, I am telling you, you guys are not ready for what we are planning for you guys this year. Be on the lookout. But also, meanwhile, before then, on the 28th of February, this month, the last day of the month, Brian Sigu will be performing at Carnivore at the Dagos event. So kama unataka kuona Brian Sigu akiperform, then Friday we should find you at Carnivore. Sisi Ongeza Volume tutakuwa and we can't wait to see you guys there. On 11th December, I attended Thum sessions that was happening at Embe Studios. I already spoke about a previous edition of Thum sessions where I was invited by Joy Ndinda, but fun fact, for this particular edition, Joy asked me to assist with hosting. Mnaona, mnite niwafanyie job. This time we had Dipa Konnection who are gonna be performing. It was so nice interacting with the individual members of Dipa Konnection. Kuna video yenye nilikuwa nimeshaeka hapa TikTok. I posted it where Dipa Konnection were doing the performance at Thum Sessions. And also a bonus, Thum Sessions have already uploaded some of the videos where Dipa Konnection are performing. So you guys should go and check them out on YouTube. Na pia mkuje mtutafute hizi videos za Dipa Konnection on TikTok. Moving on swiftly. One of the members of Dipa Konnection was selling some merchandise outside of we were doing the show at Nyerere Michael's studio that I had already mentioned. So I got some really cute earrings because Dipa Connection were vending. I also got some merchandise from Karibu Nairobi, who are also based at Embe Studios. So during the event, I got to ask Deeper Connection a couple of questions, which Joinina is gonna release on the Thum Sessions YouTube page. So you guys should check out for that. The performance is elect bra. Like if you've been to any Deeper Connection performance, you would know. So it was electric as always, and they did 2 sets with a break in between. So shout out to Joy Dinda of Thum Sessions. That's a really beautiful curation. If you want to know more about what Thum Sessions do exactly, the previous episode has like a detail. I read out the whole description of what Thum Sessions do. So kama uko interested in knowing what Thum Sessions do, Rudy episode 18, uskize. On 14th December, I attended Happy Country by Crazy Kennar at Kasarani. Bruh, let me tell you, I wasn't planning to attend this event. Like, I was just hanging out with my friends earlier on in the day, and we went to Karura to cycle. And they were like, you know what are you doing in the evening? And I was like, nothing really. And they said, you should come with us to Happy Country. And I was like, hey, okay. This is different because I'm used to attending live shows like where there's a band and all that. So seeing a Crazy Kennar curation would have been really interesting and also outside of my scope, which is something that I'm trying to do this year. Like I'm not just trying to go to live shows, bands and all that. So if you guys have events that have a wider variety, please feel free to invite me. I am always open to experiencing new stuff outside of what I'm used to. So yeah, in the evening tukaelekea all the way to Kasarani. So the sitting space was huge. Like, hey, omse, haikuwa sold out but wase walikuwa wengi kwa hiyo arena. So the show was divided into chapters. There was like I think 3 chapters. I hope I'm correct. If I'm wrong, please do not be afraid to correct me. I'm telling you, I laughed so hard, like all through. Oh my God. It's beautiful how Crazy Kennar brought together a wide range of creatives. Akina Flaco, Abel Mutua, Kina Ombachi, Kina Austin Muigai, Kina Tumbili, and many others. Kina Steve Simple Boy, Kina Goliath, like all these TikTok celebrities were part of Crazy Kennar's skit. At some point, Savara also popped up in the play and he performed Show You Off, which then I was obsessed with. So you can imagine how excited I was. So, a short story about a certain scenario. So, see, definitely they've done rehearsals for these shows, right? And there's particular cues where now the DJ who was playing was supposed to start playing Show You Off. I think after Savara has showed up in the play, amefungua hiyo mlango, ametokea, and people are like, people are shouting. And then now he starts saying, hello, nimekuja na tangazo. So this DJ kept on playing like off cue. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's a random set. Savara bado hajatokea. Unasikia tu DJ amecheza halo, nimekuja na tangazo. Like, even before waanze hiyo chapter yenye Savara alikuwa atokee, the previous chapter walikuwa DJ alikuwa ameshaanza kuiq. I'm just like, bro, what's happening? So at first I didn't understand why they kept on playing that song. I just assumed maybe DJ ako excited kucheza, but break haikuwa imefika. So when Savara showed up and then now the DJ played the song, I was like, so makosa ilikuwa ya mwenye alikuwa anashinda amekiu hii kitu. Speaking of DJs, bwana. Hey! That DJ had a really good opportunity to play Kenyan music because people are seated. This is not a club. Isi place yenye ati kuna pressure ya sijui lazima ubambe watu. Already wase wanabambwa na Crazy Kennar and all these celebrities they are seeing. So people are just seated, chilling, eating, drinking, and watching. Why don't you use this as an opportunity to plug this new audience to Kenyan music? Like, what is so difficult with playing Kenyan music? I don't know who the DJ was, honestly, but hey, you should have done better. Alikuwa anacheza mangoma za club. Ni kama tutasimama tuanze kudance. But people are not even standing and dancing. People are just jamming when they are seated. So, I mean, and considering we are all here to support Kenyan creatives, all these creatives have been brought together by Crazy Kennar. And so, if we're here to support KE, then why don't we play KE as the DJ? Like, you didn't read the room, ama what was that? Na hatutachoka kuimba hii story, hatutachoka kuimba hii wimbo ya play Kenyan music. Like, we will vouch for it always, always. So yeah, DJs hii mwaka tuko sako kwa bako na nyinyi. Like, we have to put on the pressure until we hear Kenyan music everywhere. So most of the concepts of the play zilikuwa zenye alikuwa amesha post before, but with different scripts. But well, unajua mimi nimewatch Crazy Kennar from kitambo. So a lot of the skits were kind of predictable, like kama hiyo ya vile alienda ku crash into bash ya Wahindi akapata sijui chakula iko na pilipili or something. Like the scripts were kind of changed, which I appreciate, but zilikuwa tu like, oh, in my head I was like, oh, I've seen this before, I've seen this before. But I think I need to attend more Crazy Kennar curations. And also he's released a movie recently. It's called My Name is Omosh. And they recently premiered it. So I should go watch that. And then probably see. I know he's really doing great for himself. And I'm so proud of Crazy Kennar. And his journey is very inspiring. And just to take us back a bit, Savara after ameimba aliongea akasema manzee nyi wasee ni wanoma, mmekuja kusupport Kenyan creatives. So that was a big thing.
Thank you so much for supporting Kenyan arts. You guys are so amazing. All of you guys are so amazing. Sindio? Sisi ndio tuko, sindio? Sisi ndio tuko. Thank you so much, guys. Shout out to Crazy Kennar.
KE for KE.
Sindio?
Hello.
Sisi ndio tu? Okay. Sisi ndio tu? Love you guys forever.
On 15th December, I attended the barbershop that was live at Alchemist. The barbershop was an event that was organized and curated by Kimbassax Entertainment, which is a consultancy. They curate a lot of events currently. Kama hizo curations Alloy, I think I've mentioned that before. And also in terms of investing in your career, and he basically does music business. So you guys should reach out to Kimbassax in terms of that, if that is what you need. I worked on the events marketing and also I did MC, so I worked with Kimbassax. The stage design was beautifully done by Picture Perfect. The Babaz is a new group comprised of Mathai, Njama, Amor, and Baraza. So the microphones zilikuwa tatu on stage, and each microphone had a tiny disco ball hanging off the microphone stands. That was brilliant because it matched with the aesthetic. Yeah, the barbers. So the barber shop was basically a curation to introduce the barbers into now the industry, basically. So they were gonna perform a couple of their unreleased tracks and the one released track, which is called December. You guys should go stream it. It's a collaboration with Mutoriah and Honsphere. Najua mmeisikia. So Aphropatra is the one who started off the show, and she was also vending some of her products. Anafanya mambo za skincare products and all that, soaps, oils, etc. I love Aphropatra. I love her aura. Have I mentioned that I was emceeing this event and I was looking really peng, and I was wearing a t-shirt yenye ilikuwa imeandikwa Utamua live shows ni unreleased. Just thought I should mention that because I say that a lot. Mnataka niwauzie hizi t-shirts? Ebu mniambie kama mnataka niwauzie hizo t-shirts. I'm gonna show you guys how they looked like. And also I was wearing those earrings that I got from Dipa Konnection. Yes. After Aphropatra, we had Aliye, who performed next together with Moria. And one thing Live in NBO said is there can never be too many guitars on stage. They were all playing acoustic guitars and they all sounded really good. Cheif and the Marshalls graced the stage after a 4-year hiatus since COVID, and their genre is mostly Kenyan reggae. I had never heard of Cheif and the Marshalls before this event, but let me tell you, Cheif and the Marshalls, you will be famous. These people put up a really, really good performance. Like, I can't wait to see them perform more often. You guys, bassist wa Chief and the Marshalls was a lady. I am telling you, she was playing so well. I want you guys to amsikie tu ka snippet tu kidogo. You can hear her in the background, and I'm telling you, and she can also sing. So she's a vocalist and she's a bassist. Oh my god, I was so fascinated.
We want to big up all the musicians, the radio presenter, the people who are doing such an amazing job for the music industry. Watu kama Abija na Ongeza Volume, watu kama the Jukebox Band, watu kama the Babaz pale, watu kama Aphropatra, watu kama Benson, watu kama Kalamoto. Yes sir, this bus dedicated to all musicians and people making the music.
After their performance, there was a DJ Nick set, and he did the set with Tugi. And guess what? I joined them. Vibes on vibes. I had so much fun on stage. Oh my days. Nick is so good with playing Kenyan music sets. Then it was the Babaz o'clock. Ooh. I had to introduce the Babaz, and the band that was playing was Philip Odupa on drums, Victor Tugi on bass guitar, Islid on lead guitar, and Marcos Musalanu on keys. So I've already told you guys the group that comprises of the Babaz. So they started off with their individual sets of released music. So if it's Baraza's song, they would perform Baraza's song, and then Mathai Njama and Amor would BGV, and then the same for everybody's music. And it's beautiful to see how the audience that was in attendance were actual fans of their individual music and them together. And I love how people actually did buy tickets to experience a group that they had never experienced before together. Maybe they did initially, but not like officially. So it's amazing that people are having a bit more faith in Kenyan acts. They wore outfits of different colors, walikuwa wanakaa kama Power Rangers. They then did a joint set where they performed released music. That is December featuring Mutoriah and Honsphere enye nimewaambia. And they also did unreleased bangers. They are set to release their project in 2025, that is this year. And I really can't wait to see when they're going to release and the music that they're going to choose to put out for us. I don't know if it's going to be a project or a couple of singles. The reception was really good, and I'm glad. These are really talented guys that I've seen perform. I think, I don't know if I've seen these guys from like 2022. It's been a couple of years now. And also some more insider information. There's something we're cooking with Amor. He recently released an EP, so you'll be on the lookout. I can't wait to see what the Babas are gonna do in 2025. And the Baba Shop was the last event that I was fully part of in 24. On 18th December was our official closing day. Nakili sessions was happening at the Beer District, and Mutoriah was the one who was performing. And for the first time ever, they were charging for attendance at Nakili sessions. And guess what? It got sold out. They had to tell people not to buy any more tickets, na could deny entry because the place was so full. So kama kawaida lazima tunge attend closing day. I'm saying kama kawaida because this was the second closing day. And we also reviewed the last time Mutoriah performed on the final Nakili sessions. He was performing with his band, Sokoro on drums, JP on bass, and Marcel Moustache on guitar. The decor was so festive, and it was done by Picture Perfect. I hadn't experienced Mutoriah with a full band in a while. Most of the shows we've been attending have been acoustic, where it's just him and keys or him as the producer. We talked about the different types of delivery when Mutoriah is performing. So you see how I am able to predict the intros of songs. Nilikuwa nimeras. I couldn't recognize the intros. Some of them I could, some of them I couldn't. And I was like, okay, probably not performing with a band as often makes it a fresh experience every time it happens. He performed a good number of songs from Dive In, from Happiness as well. For those who do not know, these are projects, albums by Mutoriah. As our Father Christmas and the founder of Nakili Session, it is good that the audience ilimheshimu na wakajam all through the performance bila kelele. In fact, the audience actually did sing along. Billy Black showed up to perform Sawa and his own song called Ambia. Beta came on and the audience lost. People were singing word for word. Me, I was just having goosebumps. I was recording the videos like Siamini, Siamini. If you compare from how Nakili sessions started, I remember attending, and now it's a good time for Kenyan music. That's all I can say. On 20th December, I attended Mugithi Christmas that was happening at Mass House. I attended it for work, but my highlights were, of course, Ayrosh's and performance. There was a time I was telling Ayrosh how he's usually so in sync with his band. Akaniambia, wait until I see the movement, because before Jukebox, Ayrosh the movement. And that day, Jukebox were playing at the Soulfest VIP show, so they were not available with Ayrosh. So guess who stepped in for them? The movement, the originals. Hey, and bro, he was right. He was right. Trust Ayrosh to take the movement out of retirement. On 22nd December, I attended the much controversial Blankets and Wine Summer Edition. I have a lot to say about particular event. First, I'd like to register my disappointment to Blankets and Wine because hawakutusikiza in terms of changing the set times for artists, regardless of so many people putting it out there that they wanted it changed. So, for context, for somebody who has no clue what happened in December last year, Blankets and Wine announced a lineup, and everybody was happy about it because almost everybody felt represented. I would like to say that in terms of the curation. But we were wondering, all these guys are actually dope. Who's gonna be put where? Who's gonna perform what time? And we were waiting to see. And do you know they sent a poll on the broadcast channel on Instagram for people to vote who they are most excited to see. And I feel like if you put out such a thing, it should actually guide your decision in terms of the timelines that people are supposed to perform. But did they do that? They did not. So when they released the set times, there was so much outrage on the internet. Somebody tweeted that the organizers thought that people were being paid to troll. But no, right now, the Kenyan music movement is growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every day. And we love to see it. So when you see so much outrage about such a thing, it's a good thing. I'm just like, yay, we actually do care about this. But at the same time, we also need to learn as event organizers and curators, we need to learn how to take feedback the right way and actually consider it instead of ignoring it. Like unaona ile yenye una-ignore mtu live. Like they did not address even a single thing before or after the event. Nothing. That was crazy. Anyway, on to attending the event. There was so much traffic. So I missed Njerae's set because of that. You guys, they did not even accord her grace in terms of timings with so much pressure, which later on did not make any sense because there was a time gap within the schedule after Xenia Manasseh. And you know why there was a time gap? Because they announced that Idaziz won't be performing. I'm gonna let that simmer. So one of the artists on the lineup who was gonna perform later on won't be performing, but this particular artist that people voted for, that they were mostly eager to see, because according to the poll, it was Nyashinski then Njerae, a budding artist mwenye sai ndio ako, you know? And then you go ahead and disregard your audience's preferences. Uneka mtu uko mwanzo and then come and announce and say there's gonna be a 1 hour gap. Yo 1 hour si ndio Njerae angekuwa na perform. A lot of her fans missed the set. To make matters worse, By the time akina Njerae and the band, Njerae plays with the unit band. By the time walikuwa wanamaliza set yao, a lot of things were not set up for them. Because, as an artist, kuna some things zenye zinakwanga provided for you to feel convenient during an event. Things like food, washrooms, water. Some of those things were not provided in good time. So imagine umeshuka stage, you're tired, you've delivered, you've given a really good show, and things are not in order. Like, you have to wait. The last time I ranted about this was ile time ya Oktoberfest. Anyway, when I arrived, I was so shocked at how so many people had arrived early, and this showed how much our favorite alternative KE artists are now a force to reckon with, and I am so happy. I won't go into detail with these performances. I'll just mention my highlights juu Nisha break down most of these performances in the previous episodes. That is now the individual artist. So I managed to catch Watendawili on stage. Highlights: when they were performing Zing, they turned the intro into a two-step and they danced. Oh my gosh, I had never seen that before. They incorporated dancers within their performances. First, when they were performing Bariki Wengi, the audience was singing along to Hadi Kesho, and it was just giving goosebumps. Dance routine ya Hadi Kesho lazima tuishike. There was the one that they performed on stage, but now there's another one that was initiated by TikTok. So I think the TikTok one is the one that has dominated, but I also love the one that they did. Lazima niishike, by the way. Wacha sasa, during Hadi Kesho, band ikacheza some rumba, and then they did 12,600 Letters by Franco Luambo. The crowd chanted Beba, and the boys came onto stage and performed it. And the crowd was singing word for word. Now, between Z's performance and Costa's performance, there was a 1 hour break. Ile yenye ilikuwa inafaa kuwa ya Ida Ziz. Then Costa came onto stage, and I was curious to see how he would fit 45 minutes with such a serious catalog. And it's like he also knew what he was up to. He was performing with the Fishes Band. And my highlights were when he did Joey from ISNM, and then Olemona, which is the last song on the project, and then the Fwen intro. So basically, he did like intro, outro, intro. Wow, me in my head, I was just like, oh my god, Costa, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Another highlight, he had Hype Balo, hype the crowd with cultural dances. And Mwitikia on the lights was delivering during this hype set. At the end, Kodong Clan finished off. Before that was Watendawili for their collaborative sets. He had to leave stage before even the Kodong Clan guys finished. And I'm told that he was asked to leave stage because his set was over, apparently. But I was a bit tired, so I didn't watch Necessary Noise. The next performance I watched was Wakadinali, and there was a delay again because the decks that they did sound check with were not the same decks that were on stage on the day of the event. So again, event organizer fault, na wakachukua mic wakasema apologies for delay, makosa sio ya Wakadinali, makosa ni ya event organizer. I've seen Wakadinali performances before, and I feel like for these blankets, it was a bit more organized. Not everybody was on stage like at the same time. So on this right side of the stage, wase wako hapo wanangoja cues zao, if it's the collaborators, if it's dancers. Not that everybody was on the stage hapo mbele, all of them at the same time. No, they were actually organized. The band was actually interesting. It was Odupa on drums, Lucas Marsh on keys, and Tugimlamba on guitar. So they were using both tracks and a live band. And if Wakadinali had a whole ass band, what made Nyashinski come onto stage and play with playback? Honestly, I couldn't stay. I left. I left like mid Nyashinski performance. So I can't even tell you guys how it was. But from the feedback that was on the internet, a lot of people were actually disappointed by Nyashinski's performance. So I'm gonna read out sentiments or feedback from random people on the internet from both Twitter and Instagram. No guitarist on stage, zero drums, nothing but beats. Sijawai sinyika this much. How? Like genuinely, how? Somebody else replied and said, Bro, I'm so underwhelmed. You're the one ending the final blankets of the year. This is how you saw it fit to do it? Surely. I don't care how long he's been in the game. That's not right for anyone. Somebody else said, use your data. If you have none, use this as an opportunity to collect some and do. Somebody quoted that and said, Sharon Buzui was very vocal. Was very vocal about the unfair scheduling at Blankets and Wine to the point where she was labeled a hater. Apparently, the Blankets team even called some people to investigate whether the boys, that is Watendawili, had paid funds to rally behind them online. They seemingly thought the group had Dennis Itumbi like connections. The irony. Honestly, I'm kind of glad Shaz was vindicated after Wakadinali and Nyashinski's allegedly disappointing performance. If you followed me for a while, you know how far we've come in the live music performance quality, with 2022 being a major turning point. We're not about to let anyone drag us backwards, not even Nyashinski. Mediocrity won't fly. Somebody else told me on the DMs, leaving Nyashinski's set to go watch Sir M was the best decision of my night. I was just like, I'm not understanding what is happening here. So let me, and then emoji ya kukimbia. Oh my god, I love Ovifam. Ovifam na huwa mnani entertain sana. I did tweet live at the festival about due to unavoidable circumstances by a disease, and a lot of people quoted it, expressing their dissatisfaction as well. So Alexa said, Mudhoni and her team clearly saw the number of tickets they had sold and still stuck with that small bar with like 5 attendants and slow paying service. I remember raising this issue again last blanket. Mgema alisifiwa sasa on. Somebody said, I can't believe I enjoyed Naiboy's 5-minute performance more than Nyashinski's whole performance. It was thoroughly underwhelming. A fan of Nyashinski said, literally went to Blankets to see Nyashinski perform. Then he decides to do playback. Spotify would have just sufficed. Somebody else said, Nyashinski playing a DJ set is some inexcusable nonsense. Somebody said, alafu akafukuza Costa kwa stage juu aliexit time yake na 5 minutes pekee. 5 minutes. I don't know how credible that is, but if that's the case, that is really unfortunate. I didn't attend Soulfest, but somebody did give their feedback on the event. They said the time allocated for the show was kidogo juu wasanii walikuwa wengi. I didn't experience the artists nicely. Wangeanza mapema basi so that we experience everyone. It felt like cameo. About Blankets, they said, I would have preferred Nyashinski with a band. I saw the intention, but no, live band Nyashinski is goated. Somebody else said, it's his brand. He should guard it. Very many artists sometimes compromise and still play with a band if they have to take the show, otherwise, they pass. He should respect his fans and his craft. Some really sad news was somebody saying, oh, also, this was like the 4th fight. Security never showed up. Civilians had to separate everyone who's fighting, which was messy, due it led to more fights. So apparently, at some point within the audience, there were actual fights going on and there was no security. This tweet was backed by a video on Twitter that sent chills down my spine. Like, oh my God. I also realized they changed the security service providers. So security isn't something you should actually ever compromise at an event. That is so scary. Somebody said something positive, warembo walikuwa wameiva. Ati unaenda kukasirika kidogo hivi, mrembo anakupita anakuambia, "Hi, moyo inafurahia." Warembo ni wengi for real. Somebody else said, number one, waiting was too much. I think if all the artists are present na wamefanya sound check, wasituweke sana. Number two, they harassed necessary noise out of stage only for us to wait for 1 hour and 15 minutes for the Cardinals. Number three, blankets again. Nyash can perform with a band surely. What was that? Number four, they ended Costa's performance prematurely. Kamori said, Lakini I'll never forgive blankets for how they did us, Jana. The sound, the lineup, the breaks with no music, the silence when we asked them to change the lineup, the ladies' washrooms, also Rudisheni, African Kazi. The ads babes is not it. Bash ilipoa. And finally, the last paragraph from that Steve. He said conclusion after the event. Initially, hata sikuwa na shida na lineup. It wasn't the best, but I was still fine with it. Then kulikuwa na hiyo narrative ya business perspective, which I understood. I also didn't like the hate Nyashinski was getting before the event. I was like, let the event organizers do their thing. They have their reasons, plus Nyashinski and his stripes kusema tu ukweli. That's how I concluded last time. So now after the event, which didn't go as planned, particularly hizo areas watu walikuwa na shida nazo before, nobody wants to take accountability. Hapo sasa ndio beef yangu inaanza. I know hakuna event inakwanga perfect, but hizi za blankets watu walikuwa washa sense kitambo. I'm so curious to see how the blankets team will handle this. Let me pause there. They didn't communicate about anything. They didn't apologize. Right now, they are advertising season ticket ya 2025. Now, I may reduce the festivals to 3 times a year, and it's still 10,000 shillings, and people are not taking any of it. Anyway, acha niendelee kusoma kenye Steve anasema. What I don't like the most ni how hawa wasanii wako mid-tier, mid-level according to the industry standards. Wanakuwa treated vibaya na hizi big. Mimi kwangu, they are the best and don't deserve hiyo madharau. That is so real. So, Mutoriah and the gang, endeni mfufue waziwazi fest. Oh my God, yes please. So that hawa wasee waache kuwadharau na kuwasumbua. You guys are amazing, but they've now labeled you alchemist guys. Let Waziwazi Fest iwe for more popular music, less niche, and for fusion iwe more niche music, less popular. Build up those two so that you don't have to deal na hizi cartel za kitambo zenye hazitambui hard work yenu. I'll end the feedback segment hapo. Finally tumemaliza 2024. Wow, it's been a journey. The projects that were released in December, I'll highlight a few. The singles were so many. Wow. Festive season watu walisema singles, which was really good. Watu wenye walitoa projects ni Kodong Clan walitoa Disco, the album. Zoe Kengocha released Spiral Tape, the album, and Cardiac Poet released Coffee and Cuddles. Kama nimeacha project yako, I'm sorry man. I had put a poll some time back, and also a couple of people had reached out. And you see how everyone was releasing their top 2024 music, top 2024 albums. I don't think I'll do for music, for albums, or for singles. So what I'm gonna do what Ongeza Volume is known for. My top events of 2024, and there's a lot of factors to look at in terms of ranking these events. There's the performances, there's the general experience, the feel of the event, the food, not just the performances. So, outside of the events that Ongeza Volume was fully involved in 2024, so that at least I can make the playing field even, these were the top events in no particular order. They are 12. First is Waidhaka at 20, Blankets and Wine, July 2024. Tumetoka Very Far by Elsa Fanjora, Elsie Wameo at Gecko, Kodong Clan Fun Show, Mutoriah and the Orchestra, Honsphere live at Gecko, Lisa Odur Noah live at Ankole, Karun performing at the Butterfly Effect, Folk Fusion ya May 2024, Karun's Anu listening party, and Charisma Live. Now, because I've mentioned that there were events that Ongeza Volume was involved in 2024, I'm just going to quickly list them down. Yes. So, was a world that happened in March, which is our Watendawili showcase. The barber shop that happened in December. Thum sessions that we've discussed, 2 editions so far. Kavirondo Fest, I was involved in one of the editions, and there's one that is coming up soon, so watch out for that announcement. Kolo's live listening party, the Imposter Syndrome No More album launch, Hornsphere Live, Kitten Live Experience 2, all the R&B uncovered that were happening at Beer District, Out with the Old EP launch and listening party, and finally the Fisherman Experience by Costa Ojwang. So in 2025, Ongeza Volume is open for collaborations. We are open to being your hosts and your MCs for your events. So please do not be afraid to reach out to us. There's a number that is available on every bio on the Ongeza Volume platforms. And our email address is ongezavolume@gmail.com. So reach out to us and we will be glad to collaborate with you. And I guess I'll see you guys in episode 20. Episode 20 is one of my favorite episodes. Yeah, and I can't wait for you guys to listen to who I hosted on episode 20 and the conversation that we have. So, officially on the Ongeza Volume podcast, tumemalizana 2024. So, Happy New Year! That's the last time I'm saying that, by the way. See you guys at episode 20.